In this video, we're going to be talking about your avatar and transformation. Your avatar simply is your ideal customer. It's your fan, your donor, your volunteer, the person that is going to be connected to your brand, your product, your service. And the transformation is more about what do they hope the outcome will be. If they buy your product, if they engage with your service, if they sign on, what is their motivation? What is their desire to see happen, oftentimes personally, internally for them? Now, you might have a few different customers, but just like the customer journey, you probably don't have 1,000 distinct, unique customers with very unique demographics and unique transformations that they're looking for. Oftentimes we have, there again, 3 to 10 different avatars seeking different transformations.
Head to jillianjohnsrude.com/content and you can sign up to get a free 20+ page workbook that will guide you through all of these videos step by step, everything that you need to build a fantastic customer journey and content marketing strategy.
For this exercise, I want you to focus on your top 2 avatars. And we're going to go through a couple examples to kind of flesh out what this would look like. So first, for a nonprofit. In a nonprofit, let's break this avatar, if we're thinking in terms of donors, into large donation donors and small donation donors. Now, when you think about the avatar, there might be some key demographic differences between them. They might be in a different age group. Your big donation donors might be older. They might have had different career paths. They might have different education. They might be in a different stage of life. They probably spend time with different people. They might join different groups. There's lots of different ways that you can think about breaking out those demographics for your avatar. But even more importantly is they have different transformations, different outcomes that they're seeking if they choose to donate to your cause. So for example, with nonprofits, those small donation donors oftentimes want a unique and a specific experience. They want to feel like they're doing a small part that moves the greater good along. They don't need a lot of individual recognition. They don't need their name on anything. They just want to feel like they were part of something bigger than themselves. And you see this really specifically in organizations that have a sponsor a child kind of program. They're making a specific difference in one child's life. And they know that in general, it's helping the community, it's helping support schools, it's doing something for the greater good. Now, large donation donors have a different outcome oftentimes, a different motivation, something that they're looking for with their large donations. These donations tend to be more sporadic, where small donations tend to be very consistent. And those large donation donors often want a bigger project. They want something that they can start or that they can see across the finish line. They want a project that they can feel has their name attached to it, a project that will outlive them, something that they think, man, if I didn't step in and if I wasn't part of this bigger project might not have happened. And they feel like their legacy, their contribution is going to live on past them. They're less interested in maybe one specific child, but more creating a systematic change or creating a movement or seeing something to completion. So when we think about our content assets, you have to think about who you're speaking to and what are they hoping for? And understanding that you're going to have different avatars and they might have very distinct and unique transformations. In my 20s, I worked at an outdoor sporting kind of store. And to simplify it, we probably had 2 different avatars. We had the newbie, the one who was coming in, who needed the boots and the tent and the camp stove and the hiking backpack and all the things, and they were just getting started and they were excited and they were nervous, and they needed lots of different things. And then we also had the very experienced outdoors person who, had hiked the Appalachian Trail already. And they had different desires. They had different outcomes and needs. They usually were just looking for one or two pieces of equipment, but they wanted a customer service person with deep expertise, someone who knew and appreciated the equipment and how these small, minute differences could make a difference in their outdoor experience. So when you create content and you think about these transformations, there again, you have to know who you're speaking to and what kind of outcome they're hoping for. In our town, we have a local coffee shop that we love and frequent, and they have probably two very distinct avatars. They have the regulars. We're locals. We're typically, middle class. We come in multiple times a week, and we have unique motivations. We want someplace that's familiar and that's comfortable, where we see the same staff over and over, where they know our names and they know our orders and they probably know a little bit about our family life. We want a certain kind of experience. But they also have the traveler, the summer season tourist. Now, this is a different demographic, and where they spend time, how you reach them, how you find them, might be through advertisements. It might be through signage. Locals, we don't need any signage. You could take the sign off the building and we're still going to be there. But they have a unique outcome and desire. They want it to be I live in Montana, so it should have a Montana-y feel. It should have Montana-y art. It should be quick and efficient and easy with good parking. They have different transformations, different motivations that they're looking for. Another example of even different kinds of avatars is a musician. You might be catering to two avatars, one being loyal, dedicated fans, and the other being venues where you want your gig booked. These are very different avatars, and they have very different motivations for why they're going to engage with your brand, with your music. In your workbook, we're going to go through a few different ways to describe your avatar. Those demographics like age and income and gender, religious affiliation, things to help you understand who they are. Where do they spend time? Who are they friends with? Where do they show up on a weekly basis? Where do they show up online? How do they search for your kinds of, products or services? Does this avatar look it up on Google, or do they ask a friend? And then you're going to look at what is their motivation? What's that transformation? What outcome, either to their identity or to their life, is going to be served if they engage with your product or your service or your organization? And for this exercise, let's just focus on two. Yeah, you might have 10, but let's use the 80-20 principle and think about who makes up 80% of your business and start there.
Head to jillianjohnsrud.com/content, and you can sign up to get a free 20+ page workbook that will guide you through all of these videos, step by step, everything that you need to build a fantastic customer journey and content marketing strategy.